To other news now, there was a huge surge on the stock markets today as U.S. politicians inched closer to a deal over the debt ceiling. The Dow Jones had its biggest day since January, rising by over 320 points. The TSX was up by triple digits as well. Investors are clearly relieved Republicans are now offering a short-term extension to the debt limit. But as Eric Sorensen reports, the stalemate isn't over yet.
Mr. Speaker, we reopened government in order to begin.
Republicans invited to the White House again, this time a glimmer that the dysfunction in Washington could end or at least be deferred.
What we want to do is to offer to the president today the ability to move a temporary increase in the debt ceiling, in agreement to go to conference on the budget.
This is the second best day of the year.
The offer to extend the U.S. debt ceiling buoyed the stock markets today amid warnings that defaulting could rock the global economy.
If Congress does not act and the United States suddenly cannot pay its bills, the repercussions would be serious.
This crisis comes on top of a government closure, with twin clocks counting down the hours to the debt ceiling deadline, counting up the days that the government's been closed. The shutdown has been a mishmash of stoppages and partial fixes. Thousands of defense personnel were deemed essential and recalled. Emergency workers came back for last week's tropical storm but were re-furloughed after. And the real outrage for many Americans was this: families of soldiers killed this month were not immediately getting their death benefits.
I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. All of us should be.
But agreement remains elusive. A faction of the Republican Party insists on keeping government closed during budget negotiations, and they scoff at the prospect of economic turmoil.
The sky is falling, and the earth will erupt. Wyoming families aren't buying these arguments.
The White House says the Republican tactics are hurting Americans.
It's spite. It's deliberate harm to average folks out there.
The Republicans seem to be feeling the pressure, offering to extend the debt limit for 6 weeks. But before budget negotiations can start, the White House is demanding that the government also be reopened. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Washington.